You talk about aligning with the energy of love, raising oneself to the energy of love. How do you go about that exactly? And can I just ask another question as well? You were saying you give people answers. Now, would they be mainly from your own level of understanding now, or are you bringing them through from a higher source when you do that?
Okay. Since I have learned how to open a conduit, I call it to the river of universal wisdom or the river of universal knowledge. It's a sure path for me that I can bring forth information from a non-physical source. How that source comes, it varies based on the audience and the client, but it could be a person's personal guides, it could be the universe in general, it could be my higher self, your higher self. It's tapping into the fact that there is this body that we can all attune to. I just attune to it more directly than many people do. Many people witness it by seeing signs or having mini miracles happen, except the difference is mine doesn't just happen to me anymore. I can attune intentionally. And being able to do so, it's a great power for me. Power meaning that it's a powerful thing to be able to do because I know what it's like to not have done it. I know what it's like to live in the mind. I know what it's like to create a life from the thinking part of me rather than the intuitive part of me. So my intuition now is my primary vehicle for helping other people make discoveries. It might be more direct that I can understand messages than you or someone else might be able to make, but I also guide people in understanding how to have a conversation with the universe, how to get their own answers from the inside. It's never about depending on me as that conduit. It's always about learning how to unlock your own conduit to the answers, whatever form you can. A lot of it has to do with training yourself to shift what you focus on and to shift your expectations and to understand that there are certain traits and characteristics that when you align with them, they give you peace. Even if they're hard to get to, they do give you peace. So a lot of the seminars that I give are designed to help people get to these different stages of enlightenment, if you will. One example would be I give a seminar called Freedom from Negative Thinking. When we're focusing on things that are negative and when we feel pessimistic or blue or down, we're vibrating at an energy level that's going to magnetize in less fortunate people and experiences and circumstances than those that might make us truly happy. And so freedom from negative thinking, it teaches 4 techniques to help you get in control over your own thinking and to help you to harness the power that you have to pay attention to and to use your thought energy in a positive way. And when someone is exercising those steps and they're shifting the focus, they start to witness changes in their life so rapidly. So it's not that difficult for them to stay connected with their new patterns because the result is so quickly noticeable. It's like having a built-in cheerleading section asking you to stick with it because it really works. But there are other tools that are effective as well. I basically start most conversations, or at some point or another, I insert the statement that everyone is doing the best that they can within their level of awareness. And that's a profound statement for a lot of people because most of us have had or do have some hatred towards someone, or we've been let down or hurt or violated. And that anchor of disappointment or that anchor of pain makes it challenging for us to move forward and to vibrate closer to the vibration of love. But when you start to recognize that everyone is doing the best that they can within their level of awareness, it doesn't give them permission to continue to behave in a reprehensible way, but it does allow you to have a comprehension of how they probably have improved upon what they learned. They've probably improved upon their own childhood experiences. And that is what happens. Even the worst of those who are behaving in difficult ways are usually stepping it up from what they were taught and what they experienced directly. And what that does is it takes away the personalization of any pain that someone might have caused you, because you know that if they could strip away that mask and layer and all of the, challenges that they had managed in their life, that their soulful choice would have been to interact with you from a loving space. That would be all of our soulful choices if we could do it, if we didn't have this earth amnesia. And that knowledge can help bring you to the natural state which comes next, which is forgiveness. Forgiveness is not something that comes from the mind. It's not something you can force. You can intend it. You can, think and take steps toward heading in that direction. But forgiveness really comes from a knowingness in the heart, a knowingness in the soul, from a loving place, and from a place where you do recognize that the person who harmed you did the best that they can within your level of awareness. So that's one of the important steps. And, I'm looking at it in a case where, somebody was really, really challenging in one's life, but it pertains to any interaction that you have with anyone. In corporate America, I saw bosses that were good and bosses that were bad. Now, of course, there's no such thing as good or bad. I mean that they are aligning with the quality of love, or they're not aligning with the quality of love. But these are people that we are interacting with all the time, those that can or cannot align. And there is a dominance of people that are challenged in our day-to-day lives in aligning with the quality of love. So this understanding of everyone is doing the best they can within their level of awareness, it helps us in all of our interactions, whether we're interacting with a store clerk or a boss or a mother-in-law or a child or, someone that has been a challenge to us throughout our journey. It helps you to start to allow intuition to open up. You might not have to know exactly what their story is that's creating their current behavior, but you get to start to intuit that there is a story behind their behavior. And their behavior makes sense because they are doing the best that they can within their level of awareness based on the circumstances that had to them. So that's a really good launching pad for a lot of people.